Hey there. Quick question for you. Have you ever had one of those days where you know what you should be doing and you've got the list, you got the time, and you just don't do it? Like you sit there, maybe scrolling, thinking, maybe even, I don't know, getting annoyed at yourself. Like I do this all the time. Why am I being so lazy right now? Yep, most people go straight to that. Lazy. But what if I told you that it's probably not laziness at all? What you're experiencing, like a lot of people, a lot of the time, is something called the freeze response. Now, most people know how the brain does the fight or flight thing, but there's another one that doesn't get talked about near enough, and that's freeze. Now, freeze doesn't look dramatic. It actually looks like staring at your phone, avoiding starting something, overthinking simple things, feeling heavy, stuck, even foggy, like your brain hit pause but didn't tell you why. I know this feeling. I was just sitting there the other day, my coffee beside me, getting cold, and I knew I had this thing that I needed to get done. And it wasn't even a big thing. It was just something simple that I'd been putting off. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, just start. Like it's right there. I have the time. I have everything I need. And yet I just sat there. I picked up my phone. I scrolled a little bit. I put it down again. I looked at what I had to do. And then I looked away. And then that thought crept in. What is wrong with me? Why am I being so lazy right now? But it's not like I was relaxed. I wasn't enjoying doing nothing. There was nothing that made it a relaxing event. There was this weird, heavy, stuck sort of feeling. Like I was there, but not actually moving. And that's when it clicked for me. This isn't laziness. This is what freeze feels like. Because this isn't a motivation problem, it's a state problem. Your brain is constantly scanning for safety. And when something feels like it's too much or too uncertain, maybe there's too many steps or too much pressure to get it right, it doesn't always go into panic mode. Sometimes it just quietly shuts things down. And this is where it gets tricky, because freeze doesn't feel like fear. No, it feels like I'll do it in a minute. I just need a second. I don't even know where to start. All of those things are freeze cues. But as I learned, and I'm sure you have as well in the past, that minute or second turns into an hour. The coffee's cold, the day's half gone, and now you're just stuck. You're frustrated with yourself for being stuck. And that frustration, well, all that pressure, it actually makes it worse. Because now the thing that you need to do doesn't just feel like a task anymore. It actually feels like a test. So your brain does exactly what it is designed to do. It protects you by keeping you right where you are. Now, as soon as you see it like that, it starts to make a whole lot more sense. So what do you do with it? You don't try to push harder, because that typically backfires. Instead, make it safer to start. Safer for your brain, that is. So do something like, I don't know, shrink the task down, almost ridiculously small. Not clean the whole kitchen, perhaps, just wipe down the counter. Not to do the whole project, just open the file. And tell yourself in your own words, I'm not committing to finishing, I'm just committing to starting. Because that alone can start to release the freeze that's happening in your brain, because now it doesn't feel like a threat to your brain anymore. And if you're really stuck, get your body involved. Stand up, shake it out, take a slow breath, even just change rooms. Because tiny movement tells your system, hey, we're okay, we can move again. Next time you catch yourself thinking, why am I so lazy? Just pause that for a second. Now, that said, if you were listening to this and you're thinking, yup, that's me, just know that's not laziness. There is something else going on in there. And once you start to see it, you can work with it instead of feeling like you're constantly fighting yourself. Honestly, that awareness right there, that's where things start to shift. Info is power when you can actually use it. Having said that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and stick around. I've got more of these videos coming up to help you help you. See you soon.